What's up, Anchor listeners? Brett Sang here with a layman's term way of arrow fletching. The process of fletching an arrow is tried and true. It's been tried and true for a long time. We're not going to go over that, but we are going to go over some of the fundamentals if you've never done this before, and some of the essential products that are new on the market that are going to help you be successful at fletching an arrow. So whether you've done this a bunch or whether you're very new to it, by the end of this, you should have some takeaways. Let's get started. Okay, one of the most essential products that you're going to need, like the most essential product, is the jig itself. That's going to hold your arrow. That's going to put your fletching to your arrow shaft. I'm going to go over one that has been tried and true for decades. This is the Fletch Master by Blitzen. This is an awesome product. I didn't start off with this. I ended on this product, and I think it's going to last a long, long time. It's made of galvanized steel. You can see it's tried and true, magnetic connections. We'll go over the process of how to use this product, but I will say that this has been an amazing product. There are other jigs out there that you can use. There's one here that fletches all three fletchings at the same time. The thing that I don't like about this is that unlike the Blitzen, this is plastic. And when I go to scrape off that excess glue that's inside of this product, I basically ruin the mold by scraping that off. And the longevity of this is not gonna last like this galvanized steel will. So it's really up to you. I started with this, I ended on that, and I'll probably end up giving this to our grandkids. Anyways, awesome product. Let's go over a couple other things that are essential. All right, adhesives. Essential thing these days to have the right adhesive with the right fletching. There's new plastics on the market. They're rigid, they're quiet, they're low profile, they're high profile. There's a bunch of options out there, but there's a couple adhesives that work well for certain fletchings, and then others that work better for others that are made specifically for those. And so both of the adhesives that I recommend are both made by Arizona Archery Enterprises, AAE. Fast Set Gel, amazing product, dries quick. I use it with all my bowing fletchings. These are heat vanes, and with your standard blazer vanes. My wife uses these for hers, for her blazers. And then if you play around with any of the AAE vanes, like the Max Stealths, you're gonna need a product called Max Bond. This is an amazing product. It works specifically for that fletching. And what I've noticed also with Levi Morgan's new tack vanes, which I've been running recently, super quiet, awesome vane. This is a very rigid, hard plastic, and it also requires Max Bond. It does not work with the Fast Set Gel. And certain vanes are gonna require certain adhesives. It's important to get that part right. One essential tool that works well for all of this that you absolutely need, I think, when it comes to decontaminating the fletchings and making sure there's a strong bond, is a primer pen. This is basically a felt tip pen with acetone in it. Not a big deal. Now, if you already have a can of acetone, you can use just regular Q-tips, which will work fine. Dip your Q-tip in the acetone, rub it down your fletching, make sure that it's nice and clean of all like any bacteria, any fingerprints, any oils, anything. Acetone's gonna clear that up. I was doing this for a long time before they came out with a primer pen, and I gotta say, this is definitely worth owning. It lasts a long time. I've had this thing for a year, and there's lots left. Anyways, I order these three products together when I make my order, and they're essential products to get you started. Let's talk about some vanes. I have 4 vanes on the table. I like to dig deep into some wormholes on playing around with decibels, about how loud one is compared to another, low profile, high profile. My wife is stuck with blazer vanes. It's 6 years I've known her. She shoots these great. She shoots 3 fletchings. She always uses blazer vanes. She loves them. She doesn't want to try anything else. I don't blame her. Don't fix what isn't broken. And so I like to play around with different fletchings because I like to nerd out on this stuff. But I've been playing around with the heat vanes, low profile, short, elongated, super quiet vane made by Boeing. Both of those products work great with the Fast Set. I haven't played around with the Max Bond. I'm sure it works fine with them, but that's why I have 2 different adhesives, because the other products, the other vanes I have, absolutely require Max Bond. And those are the Max Stealth made by AAE. These are low profile, great little vane, supple, softer than the heat vane, but I ran these this year during my hunting season. They flow all my broadheads perfect. I had great connection with my adhesives to my arrow shaft. I really liked it. Even with wraps, they did a great job. This is a new product on the market that I've been playing around with. I really, really like these. They're tack veins made by Levi Morgan. That guy is the man when it comes to archery, so you got to kind of trust him just on his reputation. But once I got these things in my hand and I fletched some arrows, this shield cut, it's the driver, the tack driver, 2 inches 3/4 and shield cut, amazing product, super quiet. I'm about to go on a coos deer hunt in Arizona, and I'm excited to use that product because I think it's so quiet, and I know these deer are finicky, and anything over 30, any shot over 30 yards, it's gonna be essential to have a quiet arrow. And anyways, I'm excited to run them. That's what I'm on right now. So whether you wanna play around with wormholes or you wanna be like Allie and just dig deep into one fletching, find that it shoots really well and stick with it, that's your choice. But I recommend at least giving out 2 or 3 different types of veins a shot and play around with them a little bit and see what works best for you. All right, so we've talked about the essentials. We have a jig, 1 jig. We have 1 primer pen, 2 different adhesives, and 4 different types of fletchings to choose from. So that's fletch and arrow. Okay, start with a bare shaft. First thing you wanna do is remove your knock. The reason is that acetone can melt this knock. So you're gonna want a can of acetone later. You want it around the house anyways. Get yourself a cheap can of acetone in Ace Hardware and take a rag and wipe down the end that you plan on fletching to remove any kind of oils from touching it. You're gonna want a clean surface to start off with. Take your knock, insert it back in there, lay it in your jig. All right, now that I've inserted my arrow shaft, we have the options to choose between a 3 and a 4 fletch. That's why another reason why I love this jig so much is because I can choose between the 2. The versatility is awesome. Allie can do her arrows, I can do mine, and it's basically a little screw that's gonna control that. So basically, for simplicity, I'm gonna build a 3 fletch arrow, and I have it set at 120. So that's gonna give me a full rotation, 360 degrees at 3 different points. When I have my 90-degree setting in there, it's gonna give me a quarter rotation. 90 times 4 is gonna add up to 360. So it's gonna give me 4 different points before I get full rotation to give me 4 fletches. Let's get started with a 3 fletch. All right, so the first step we're gonna do is remove the vein clip. This is gonna clip down your vein. This is gonna hold your arrow. I'm gonna use the AAE Max, Stealth Max. I'm gonna insert it into the clip. There's different points on this clip where I'm able to insert and add that vein to different little increment markers there. It's not precise. You don't have to worry about that right now. I don't know, I like to give myself at least an inch, inch and a half, depending on how you like it, depending on where your face touches your string, whether you want to feel the vein touch your face or not. I recommend it doesn't, but keep it far enough away where it's not touching your mouth at full draw. That's gonna come in right about an inch, inch and a half. So right now I have it at an inch. I got my mark set, and I'm ready to decontaminate the vein with my acetone primer pen. And you're just gonna rub that felt right along the plastic ribbing. Put that down, decontaminated. Now it's time to use, I can't use my fast set, remember that's only for my Boeing veins. So I'm putting that aside, I'm using the Max Bond right now. You run a bead nice and easy, you don't have to put a lot of glue on there. Your goal is to have enough glue where you get 100% contact on that plastic, but you do have minimal amount of excess just for waste purposes. Clip that back on, run that to your back, and then just slowly but surely and firmly press it down onto your shaft. Release. All right, let it sit. Next step is make sure that you have a bunch of Q-tips around. A box of Q-tips, you're gonna have these around for cleaning your ears out anyways. So you might as well buy 2 boxes next time you're out and put one down in your arrow building supplies and have this thing sitting around. Have a big box of them because you're gonna need a lot of them. Take out a Q-tip. There's gonna be some excess that runs along this rib onto the arrow shaft itself. So what you can do is either you can dip this in acetone if you'd like, which is probably a really good idea. Let's do that. All right, so this Q-tip is soaked right now in acetone. I'm gonna take that along the ribbing and I'm just gonna clean up that excess adhesive that's there. spin it 180 where you have a clean side to the Q-tip and run it again. 2 wipes, take your Q-tip and you can leave it. I like to lay it with the adhesive part laying off the edge of the table. Don't touch that on your clothes, you'll have Q-tips stuck all over you. And just leave that because you can use the other end for the next Fletch. All right, so we're good to go. Give that thing about a minute, take it off, spin it. We're gonna remove the clip from our arrow and we're gonna spin that thing, that bad boy. You're gonna see another bead of excess glue. Don't worry about cleaning that up yet because we'll get 2 birds with 1 stone here in a minute. Take out another vein, repeat the process. Clip it in there, ballpark it on this little gauge here of where you're gonna lay it. Lay it in there before you do any cleaning to it and try to eyeball where this fletching is sitting. Right now it's sitting a little bit too high up. So what I'm gonna do is give it a little move, just slide it down a little bit. I'm gonna match up that tip, looking pretty good, I'm close. All right, I'm on the money. When it comes to making sure that your veins are matching, match the front end of your vein. These things are cut through die cuts. They're made and they're mass produced. Sometimes some are shorter than others. Don't worry about the back end of it. Worry about the front end. Make sure that that's nice and clean at the very front. Those angles are going to be the same. Don't worry about the back end. So right now I have a nice level set up right there. I'm eyeballing it. It looks really, really close. I'm going to remove it and I'm going to repeat the first process. Take your felt pen, run it down along your rib. It's clean. Add your adhesive to the little V inside. You're going to fill about 1/3 of that just down the center. Nice, strong, consistent bead. Lay it down on right above your arrow shaft. Press down firmly 1 time. Now leave it. Okay, so now when we do our adhesive excess wipe with our acetone, we're going to use the other end that we haven't used yet. Swish it around your acetone. You got a soaked Q-tip full of acetone, and now you can take it down both edges of this adhesive and clean up both at the same time. And it just cleans up really, really nice. And this Q-tip is toast, garbage, boom, get yourself another Q-tip. Hence having a huge 1,000 Q-tip in 1 box container. All right, we're 2/3 way done on 1 arrow. That's quick, right? It's going fast. See, it's easy. You can do this at the kitchen table. It's not that hard, and it's fun. I really like building my own arrows. I like to invest some time into how these things are set up. I love the versatility of playing around with different veins and basically nerding out on this stuff in the off season. Okay guys, our 3rd and final vein is done. So let's pop this off the clip and take a look at it. Under the light, it looks damn near perfect. There's not a lot of adhesive that's on there. I've cleaned that up pretty good with the acetone, and these veins are on there. They're not going anywhere, which is great. So 3 minutes aside, 9-10 minutes an arrow, an hour to do a half dozen. I mean, whether you do it in one sitting or you come back to it, this is not an intimidating process. It's really simple. The fundamentals of fletching an arrow have been around for a long time. What's new is all the different products that are out there today to get you started, and that can be intimidating. And I hope that this film has kind of shown you how some of these things have worked for me and what works really well in my process. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, is that I think there's just a couple essential tools that get you started, and then you can dive down the wormhole as deep as you want. Let's give a big congrats and shout out to April for launching Anchored Outdoors. I'm so proud of her. She's worked really hard to get here. She's been a friend for quite a long time now, and just pumped for her. I'm flattered that she invited me to do this. Maybe we'll do another one. We'll see what the engagement's like on this one, and maybe we'll do another one on advanced arrow selection. We could do it on spines. We could do it on outserts. If you want to reach out and let her know what you want to hear about, and maybe we can do another class about something else.